Okay, we should be live now. Hi Zach, it's great. There's a denoise plugin. Oh, are you talking about the audio? Yeah, I have a loud fan behind me. That might be a bit bothersome. Okay, is it working? I activated it, so it should be working now. Is there a lot of noise? Alright, thank you. Okay, so the plan for today is basically I need to rewrite Pong because Pong is broken in the newest version of the emulator for the Astro-8. So, yeah, I'm just gonna totally rewrite it from scratch and see if I can make it work a lot better this time. So this is what it currently looks like. It's way faster because we changed a lot of things that took time, so it's a lot more optimized now. And the problem is that Pong got broken while I was changing the instruction set a bit for the jump instructions. So, J-code. Yeah, I'm planning on partnering with JLC PCB to actually make a couple of PCBs to build the CPU from actual components. I still have a lot of research to do, but I do plan on actually building it from scratch and designing it. Yes. You made a lightsaber? Okay. Um, yeah, I was considering using an FPGA, but I don't know, that didn't seem to be as interesting, honestly. Um, I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research about them, but I heard that they can be really useful for something just like this. I don't think I really need a prototyping board with an FPGA to... I mean, video. Honestly, I was planning to just use an Arduino and, simulate everything much slower than it obviously would be because those things have a really slow clock speed. But I was thinking I could just do everything in sections and then combine them together for the final product. I know a little bit of Python. I did work on a trading bot a little while ago for one of my videos, but it's honestly really simple. Like, it would be easy to implement in any language. That's how, it really doesn't take advantage of any of the things that Python can do. I got interested in making my own CPU because I was watching, um, a lot of videos from, well, JDH has a few videos building his own CPU and his own video card on breadboards, and so does Ben Eater. Ben Eater has like 40 videos just on that subject. Well, I mean, I could use an ESP32, but I I really don't see a reason why I need to buy it. Because I already have like two Arduinos, and I just thought I could use them out of convenience, so I don't need to buy things. Because I already need to buy like $100 or $200 worth of components just to build the CPU from scratch. Although I think JLC PCB, they're willing to cover most, if not all of that, which will be really useful to get the project done. I've always been really interested in like neural networks and machine learning and things like that, and there's tons of there's tons of libraries and things like TensorFlow, like you're talking about, and yeah, I've always wanted to get really into that, but there's a lot of complicated things regarding it, and I have made a few examples in Unity, which I just play around with in my free time. And I did make 2 videos on it. I made a Walker and Flappy Bird, but they take a lot of time to train because I don't make very efficient ones. Unity I've actually used to make so many things that aren't games that it's honestly surprising. Because they even allow you to use low-level scripting and accessing the graphics card with shaders and compute shaders, and it's very accessible because I've been using C Sharp. Well, I used C Sharp for like 4 years straight. I haven't really used it much recently, but it comes very easily to me, so I can easily implement shader projects without having to go into a lot of the more complex things. My favorite programming language. Well, I think it's kind of hard to rank them because all of them have their own pros and cons. Like, I've been using C++ almost exclusively for the past at least 6 months, but that's not exactly my favorite one because it's obviously a lot more complex than something like C Sharp. But I don't like C Sharp as much either because there's not a whole lot you can do in it. Like, it's a lot more difficult to make games with just C Sharp, but you can use it for scripting, like in Unity or, well, many other game engines. Do you have that thing where you can think in code? I'm not really sure what that means. So probably not. But I don't know, maybe you could explain it a bit more. Neural networks from scratch in Python. So does it... So does that book talk about, like, the many different types of neural networks? Because there's, like, you know, oh, I forget the name of it. But there's, like, the easiest neural network, the one that just, basically uses randomness to decide all of the weights. And then there's, like, backpropagation, which, uses, like, complex calculus and things that I haven't even taken yet, so... You're doing Calc 1 in college? Isn't that a... Isn't that normally, like, a high school, 12th year class? Oh yeah, I was gonna make a convolutional neural network recently because I was playing around in Unity and I was like, you know, these compute shaders could actually be really useful for speeding up convolutional neural networks. And I haven't actually used compute shaders in anything other than Unity, so they're probably much faster if you use them in, uh, I don't know, another low-level language. Yeah. Okay. Well. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Okay. Well, this stream is about Pong. AI stuff is totally out of the question. Okay. Just not today. Well, not now. Maybe later. Yeah, I don't have any projects for the future. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this Pong game will never be done if you people keep bothering me. That's not the right one. Well, the last Pong that I made didn't have an AI, so it probably would be better if it did have an AI this time. But, you know, that's more work. And if you know me, I don't like doing work. So, yeah, don't expect it. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna make a neural network for this CPU. I'll let someone else make one, but I don't plan on making anything that's that complicated. It would be really cool, but okay, I learned computer stuff from the internet. I normally watch YouTube videos. Yeah. And I don't really read books about it. Yeah, I have like one book on programming, and I didn't read it. It's just sat on my shelf. Yeah, I challenge you to make that neural network, okay? You better do it, or else. I mean, it's not like a neural network would be that difficult, though. Well, at least. It would be a bit difficult now, but in future updates, it's going to be a lot easier, actually. Especially because in the next Armstrong update, I'm going to actually add in two things. I'm going to add in arrays, and I'm also going to try to figure out a way to make random number generation work. Like, sure, you can't make a back propagation neural network, but you could just make, like, a normal feed forward easy one, you know? It could be possible. Although, like, the most complex thing you could do with it is maybe an XOR neural network or something. Something very easy. Why would you train it externally, though? That's like all the fun. Training is like the best part. You can't remove training it. A collab? Do you have a channel, by the way? Oh, wow.
It's hard to find work.
You have way more subscribers than me. That is... Honestly, I'm surprised you don't have a channel about programming, though. Because you seem like you have a lot of experience in it, honestly. Hmm. I'm trying to think how to make this more efficient, because last time I had like 40 variables just for the Pong game. But then I have to work in collision, and that requires position. Hmm. Yeah, hacking and cybersecurity things are pretty interesting. I watch a few I watch a few channels about that. It's pretty interesting sometimes, although all the time it's just like getting on their computer and putting a virus that does something on it. It's kind of boring after a while. Also, most of the time you need like a cryptographic key, and it's like password hacking, but you're just checking it against a word base. So it's not. So you just let your computer do the work for 10 hours and hope it works. But if they're any sensible person, then they don't obviously have an insecure password that would be in a database. Yeah, that's pretty awesome because he uses it like for good, you know, and he's actually doing it. Most channels aren't actually of people doing it. It's just saying, okay, well, you could do this, but we're not gonna for legal reasons. I'm not even sure how he does that legally, but yeah, who isn't subscribed to that man? Yeah, I guess language processing is a bit interesting, but I kind of feel like I think a lot of it is really just like the model learning things that have already been said. So it feels more like a remix of something that, has already existed. And so I don't find it that much more interesting than any of the other like chatbot things or anything. I mean, it's basically like autocomplete, but it sometimes makes coherent sentences, and in the better models, it actually makes good text based off of a subject. Oh, it crashed. Well, that's not very good, is it? Okay, let's see what went wrong. Hi, welcome to the stream. Well, now, this is not very good. Okay, well, the problem is somewhere in here. Okay, it has something to do with this. Not entirely sure what. Okay, it's that one. It's 10. Sixteen, 5, 3, 1. That should only be equal to 32. Odd, there seems to be an error. Let's make a new file for testing this out, because I think it's a bug in the actual emulator. Well, yeah, there's not going to be that many people watching the stream. I purposely have this on my second channel because I don't want to mix in with the other content. It's a bit odd there's no output on this one. Alright, bye. Nice having you around. See if that's actually working correctly, because it seems like it might not be. Okay, load large into. Okay, put that into B. I don't know why this isn't rendering correctly. It's a bit odd. 61450 should be like right in the middle of the screen. Perhaps the number's too low. Still don't see anything. Ah, there it is. So the multiplier should be working then. $32.60. Okay, well that prevents it from freezing. But it's still not working correctly. Okay, now all the pixels are blue. Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, that's not... Okay, I know how to handle it now. It's going too fast. That's what's going on. How did I create the emulator? What specifically do you want to know? Because, well, there's a lot of moving parts, I guess you could say. I have the code up, so we can, go through it if you want. But it's pretty big. It's like 2,500 lines. Yeah, it's on GitHub. Right here. Yeah, I never used to put my code and projects and stuff like that on GitHub because I always thought, well, there's not really any need to make it open source. But I found in the past few years, well, like 1.5 years now, that I've been sharing it on GitHub and allowing people to look at it and things, that my programming has actually gotten much better and I've actually learned from other people. Also, it's just very easy to share it, which is pretty cool. You know, you don't need to send someone the files in order just for them to look at it. Okay, this should make the ball much slower. Doesn't appear to be working. Well, that's a problem. uh, hmm. Let me think about how to fix that. Maybe I can make it higher, like 20,000. That's an issue. Why is it stuck on 111? What is on 111? Store large? One into slow ball speed. Yeah, it seems pretty stuck on that one. It's a bit weird. What does that do? I totally forgot what that instruction is actually meant for. Directly after counter is addressed, copy value from register A to memory. Wait. Register A. Yes, into memory. And then advance counter by 2. Now it's at 119? What? Now it's at 51. 111. 51. I'm not really sure what's going on. Okay, well, now it appears to be acting a bit different. Not better, but different. wonder if this one would work on the original version. I've been changing quite a few things, so I don't even know. Some things will work in the current version. Which is a bit of a problem, but we'll eventually figure it out. We'll pin that there. What is this music? Okay, well this one doesn't work. The old version either. Well, at least there's no problem with the emulator. Temp. Maybe I should disable movement for now. Probably should have been the first thing I did. Wait. I never added the pixel offset. Of course I didn't. Well, that's a bit dumb. And now it works. There we go. Perfect. And we also have to add the clear system, which just clears where the ball was last time. Yeah, that should work. It does not. Oh, yeah, actually I have to set it to 0 to clear. And there you go, the ball's working. That's good. I can slow it down a bit more, maybe 4,000. That is still extremely fast. 12,000. I feel like that did not get any slower. 65534. And now it's nowhere to be seen. 32,000. I feel like we hit a limit somewhere, and I'm not really sure where. It's concerning. Oh, it's slow enough. Alright, so if it's in the left goal. So swap the direction. Let's try that. And now it swaps direction. Slowing it down a bit more. All right. Now I want the ability to move the ball up and down. Shouldn't be very difficult, but then I also need to do the ricochet off the walls. Snap does that. Well, actually, this is the development build of the emulator, and it is... Okay, do you want to see how fast your snake is with this? At least, I think it is. I tried it out because it was a pretty good example. But there's a user who's helped contribute to the emulator quite a bit, and made it incredibly fast. Let me see if I can find Snake. Alright, this is the newest version. And this is the speed that it runs at. It's way faster. Like, it's actually in a playable state, right? Now, I think the old version... Let's see what the old version is. The difference. Yeah, in the old version, it was pretty slow. Like, it moved once per second. But now it's incredibly fast. Honestly, it wasn't your code that was that bad. You know, it was just the emulator. It was too slow for not really any important reason. The Snake program? I mean, I can send it in the Discord, I guess. It's not mine, though, so, I don't know, you might want to ask, Calion? Okay, one sec. Okay, I sent it in Discord in the Astro-8 computer channel. I don't think it would be as slow as my original emulator, Gerard, in yours, because I think you actually did do a bit of optimization. Yeah, I mean, at least it's a bit more optimized than mine, I think. Honestly, I just threw that together without really a plan, so of course it was going to end up unoptimized, but it has gotten much better. Let's see how this ball bouncing looks. Oh. That is not quite right. Ah, that's why. Well, I guess we're not really going to see much ball bouncing. Although I could set this to be a bit higher. No, lower. This one would have to be lower. Alright, yeah, it appears ball bouncing works perfectly fine. Is it playing at higher speed than my original one? For example, my original one, that's it's like 1 FPS. Well, at least 1 rendered frame per second. Like, this still says 60 FPS, but the frequency is pretty low. No, I think the text is supposed to be like that. It's like an unfinished score. It increments into like the letters and symbols. Unless something different is happening with your text, but I don't assume it would be much different. You know, you could have used numbers, right? Oh. Okay, that is way faster than even the optimized version. Although, yeah, it appears that some addressing things might be messed up with the text. Also, I don't think I, why wouldn't the numbers work? Are you using the same character set that I'm using? Just the generated, character memory tape or whatever file that I, created? Because if you are, then it should be working the same. Also, I don't think I told you, but all text is all the characters are rendered on top of the actual bitmap image. So any pixel first checks to make sure. Wow, that music is a bit loud. Each pixel first makes sure that there isn't text there, and if there is text there, it just draws it white because, you know, it's trying to draw the text. But otherwise, it will instead draw the pixel given in the video memory. So that way, the bitmap acts sort of like a background. So the text should be an overlay. Yeah, I wanted more features. I wanted the text to be able to be used for a lot more things because honestly, it's a quicker way to just draw graphics. So I thought that you could just make a ton of games and stuff with it if the text actually um, just overlaid and sort of acted like a worse version of sprites. Also, honestly, the character memory tape thing or whatever, that file, just that was designed like that just because I was lazy. Honestly, it's just a single string of like zeros and ones, that sort of represents the pixel colors of the characters. But what I should have done is made it, instead of a single string of bits, it should have been sets of bytes, or at least 6-bit bytes. So that's something I might change in the future because that makes sense when implementing it for a ROM. Hello, welcome back. Well, yeah, you can't really expect the browser version to be fast. I have no idea what a web worker or the JavaScript thread or any of that is. I don't do like web dev. Oh yeah, one time when I was using JavaScript, I did that and I was like, why is this not working? It's just a simple loop. And then I discovered that, like, you can't even do things like that. Um, I mean, you can, but I didn't want to deal with it, you know? Like, whatever. Try this one out. Okay, left paddle showing. And right paddle is not showing. Okay, let's fix that. 10, 9 to 10. Oh, that needs to go into 10. That's fine. Oops. And now it works. That's good. This is not the right one. Okay. Okay, so the expansion port is actually, it can be used for absolutely anything. I just used it for keyboard because, you know, I wanted to have Pong, and that requires buttons. But you can use it for absolutely anything. It's so imagine like a PC. You can use like PCIe cards to add a ton of different things onto your computer, or you can use USB ports to have a bunch of different accessories. You can use it for anything you want. You just need to have a program that is able to use the input given by it. Now, the emulator is like the hardware level, and you can't change what the expansion port is used for without changing something in the emulator. In real life, changing what the expansion port does, you just need to create another expansion port processor, I guess you could call it. Something that plugs into the expansion port and processes like a USB cable information. So it's a little bit more complicated for the emulator to do it than if I were to actually do it in real life. But yes, you can use like a mouse or something. And one of the first things I create that the expansion port can be used for will probably be just a USB port. Or 2 USB ports. Actually, you can have up to 16 USB ports on the expansion port. Because, well, USB is serial, and it's a 16-bit port. So you don't have to use it as a parallel port. I also want to eventually create a program for music synthesis. You know, just like simple chip tune things, I guess. Which could also be another use of the expansion port, but I think I'll need to actually build like a second expansion port, like expansion port 1 and expansion port 2, each one being 16 bits. And yeah, that would probably be more than enough to do basically anything that you could on like a retro computer, you know, from the 80s. Let me think for a second. I think it can. I'm not sure if that's only in the dev version though, but I think that should also be in the normal version. Actually, it should be on here. I think I'll be able to see it. Main.cpp. Yes, you should be able to. In the release version. You know, Gerard, you're gonna have a pretty hard time trying to keep up with this, the entire project and all the changes that I plan to do. It's not even gonna be recognizable. So, see if you can keep up, I guess. I'm surprised how fast you were able to get the emulation down, though. That was pretty impressive. Like, good job on that. Because it took me quite a while. I mean, I was still working on the design as I was making the emulator, so I was constantly changing things. But still, you did do quite a lot of work pretty quickly. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Movement's not working already. Bit weird. X. Yeah, I'm sorry for making it confusing. I The way I built it, I guess, is just kind of a way to make some of the more complicated designs make sense to me. Also, believe me, it was much worse than this instruction codes right here. Before that, I had to use individual binary bits, and I had a chart in Google Sheets for automatically calculating what the different bits would be. And so I'd have to go inside of the entire micro instruction ROM and manually put those in. And that would take like at least half an hour each time, so it was getting pretty annoying. So this is way better. Trust me. 35 and 31. Odd. I'm not sure why this isn't working. Something to do with this, isn't it? Hmm. Oh, there's an S right there. Well, that's not good. And that also doesn't work. Wonder what else I misspelled. Oh, of course. Can't have that. Now it should... No, it still does not work. Is that like GitHub Copilot? Like the one that's gonna take all of our jobs? I don't want to use something like that ever. Because, you know, um, I don't want to not have a job in software development. At least I have YouTube, you know. That could always work out, I guess. I'm not sure why this isn't working. Well, yeah, they have my code, but it's not that I'm against giving them my code to train their model, but I just don't want people to use it, which I guess I can't really stop from happening. But it's not a very good idea to me. Odd. Why is this not working? I'm not mashing on my keyboard now. Frustration. Last thing I can try is that. Binary vec range to int. But wouldn't that just be inefficient? Sorry, is that one that I have in here? Binary range to int. Honestly, I don't think this is the same one. I think most of these I'm not even using. Not sure why this isn't working. It's so weird. Let's go with right paddle, see if that one works. That's being called in the update method. Wouldn't that be much more inefficient though? Because for my micro instruction array, that's just, it's pre-computed so that it doesn't require any operations after it's already created and loaded in. Oh, well, it does get the bit range, but that's for addressing it. And yeah, right here, this is where it actually reads the micro instructions. There's no operations happening on it. Oh, but then there is this one here. So, I mean, it kind of has to do these ones because it gets the different sections for indexing. I don't know. Yeah, movement does not like working. So how are you caching that? Wouldn't that take up more... I mean, that would take up more RAM, though. I don't really think RAM's an issue for me, actually. Let's see. Looking at Task Manager right now to see just how much it's taking up. Oh, never mind. Okay, so it only seems to be taking up about 40 megabytes. Yeah, I'd say that doing that would probably be much quicker for the emulator. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know, it sounds like a lot of work still, but I'll try it. No, I need to finish Pong, though. Which, for some reason, is not working. Let's just put it out there and see if that works. No, just really slow. Okay. As a person who used to use C# a lot, it does have a lot of good things about it, but I still don't really like it that much. Just my opinion. Also, why is this not working? I'm checking for inputs and getting the key press here. Sorry, expansion port is at EX, right? Yes. So that's weird. Typing still works though, right? Awa it is. Yes. WS up down. 35, 31, 71, 72. These should be working correctly. No idea why they're not. I guess it's bad when you don't even know how to program in your own language, but I guess that's just sort of the way it is. Oh, it's very slowly moving. Okay. Now just work it up. So slow though. Hi. This is your second time here. Welcome back. Oh, and you're here too. How many people are watching right now? Probably not that many. Ah. About 2. Well, hello, you two. Three? Well, then YouTube lied to me. Okay. They lied. Don't blame me. Haha. Never. Absolutely never. You're right about that one. Odd. Paddles still don't move. Even though they totally should. That is so weird. Our paddle ball. It's spelled differently. Maybe I'll try moving the ball. Okay, the paddles move, and the ball does not exist. Well, that would not make a very fun Pong game, but, good to know it sort of works. I feel like that's not compiling correctly. Snowball seed, 12,000. 12,000. Bin, load large. Appears to be working correctly. I'm not really sure. And now paddles work? Why weren't they working before? It was on 16,000. Oh, that is annoying. Why does it not work only at number 16,000? I don't understand. Well, at least it works. You can just ignore that. Okay. I think that's good enough for new speed. Maybe a bit slower. 10,000. I think I can use most of this. Ball plus X. What is relative position used for? I think I can just replace that with temp. Alright, let's see if collision now works with paddles. There we go. Oh, it doesn't work with the right paddle, it seems. Yeah, paddle speed's a bit too fast. How do you make a custom character set and how do you convert it to mem tape? Okay, I guess I can show you that. I have it open. Alright, so this is a sprite. It's just a pixel editor. You can just use it to edit pixel art. And what I'll do is I'll select white. This is the character set that we want. So let's say that we want to replace the character A with, I don't know, a smiley face. So let's do that. Let's replace that with a nice little smiley face. Yeah, smiley face right there. Okay, so we save that. Just hit Control S. And if we open up something right here, that's what this file is right here, character-set.png. You open that, that's what this is. Now, what we want to do is go into resource generator. I don't think there's a build of it, so you might have to open up the .sln file. So I guess we could just do that. It's C#, it's not C++, because that's what the emulator and stuff was originally made in, but I moved it over to C++. So this is the old version, and it's called resource generator. It just generates that. Now, if you download the repository, then everything should be where it is, because the character set.png needs to be right here in reference to the resource generator files. So now if we click play on that, it'll say generating resources, please wait, and then done. Anything else? No, so I'll just hit enter and it exits. So now if you go over here, the character set memtape, it was last updated today. Yes, today. Meaning that this is all done and processed. Now what we want to do is copy that and put it into the folder where the executable is. Now the executable, if you downloaded it, would just be in its own folder, like win_x64. So you'd go in there. There's already a character set memtape. You can use that exe, yeah. If it has an error, then... because it might have an error trying to find the PNG file with the characters in it, then just open it up in Visual Studio and run that. So there's a character set memtape in here, and you just Control-V and replace it. So now that's the new character set memtape. And now when you run the .exe, we'll just use the typing program for an example. When I type A, well, that's not good. Okay, doesn't appear to be working. That's weird. What? I think I might have failed to make the character set memtape. Did it? Hold on, let's open it up in Notepad. It should be working. Yeah, it appears to have data in it. Maybe this is a broken release. Let's go to the emulator, x64, release. Paste that. Okay, yeah, it does work. That was just a broken release. So, when I press A, it will type the special character that I made instead of A. Also, because programs use like unique indexing, only change like the font and the style of each character. Like you can change the D to look like that or something. But otherwise, some people's programs might not run correctly, because it might be displaying a U where you decided to put an oval or something, or a square like that. But there is also all this space down here which is available to use for your programs. Oh, yeah, speaking about the resolution, I am gonna actually make it bigger. 64 by 64 was just because that was an option in Logisim. I plan to make it 480p. That's what my goal resolution for it is going to be. The only issue with that is that it will require a change to the micro instructions. I'm going to need to have special micro instructions for the video hardware instead of just accessing it like memory, because it will need an extra 32 kilobytes of RAM just to have that larger screen. 64 by 64 is really easy to have in just 4 kilobytes, but when you get all the way up to 480p, that requires 30 kilobytes, so that won't fit in normal memory. Well, it will, but then you won't have anything accessible to use for your program. So CPU interrupts. I don't know. I honestly don't really know. I have a lot of things planned, so that probably is gonna come eventually. It kind of depends, like, what I work on first, though. Also, I'm almost done with Pong. It should be... I just need to add the score, and... Actually, I need to make sure that this works correctly. No, that's the wrong program. Yeah, bigger resolution is gonna make it way better. And also the text is not gonna be weird, you know, because the font currently is... Well, let me show you. It's the typing program. F2. There's like 3 or 4 pixels on the right side. I think you mentioned this while you were working on your emulator. It's just black pixels, so the text doesn't actually take advantage of it. But when it becomes 480p, it'll be 80 columns, right? Hold on. Calculator, because I can't think. Yeah, so it'll be 80 columns. Yeah, that would be pretty confusing. Like, it just ends right there. It totally looks like a graphical error. But I did that because the text was originally going to be... I don't know. What's an even division of 64? I mean, I was going to have the text be 8 by 8, I think, but those letters would have been huge. Like, you'd be able to have 5 letters per line, and that would just be honestly pretty bad and ugly. But it should actually look like a normal computer with the 480p resolution, and that'll be great. These are still moving way too fast. Yeah, collision does not seem to be working with this. What the heck? Tick speed? Like the clock speed? I don't know. It's like a bit confusing, but there's like the speed of input in the emulator, which I think I slowed down in the newest version, and then there's like frame rate of how fast the video card accesses memory, and then there's also just like the cycle speed. I don't know, it's a bit confusing, like keeping all of those in an optimal range just so that everything runs, you know, fast but also not too fast, and also that like the frame rate isn't insanely high. Like I capped the frame rate because it by default without capping it's like in the thousands of frames per second, but if it goes that fast then the CPU has basically no time to do any calculations or anything, so programs seem to run really slow but the actual frame rate is really high. So, it's a bit weird. That right paddle is not colliding at all. Oddly. Oh, because these are not variables that I used. I used L pedal Y. And R pedal Y. That should be the actual variables. There we go. Now collision's working. That's good. No, I also really want to make a Breakout clone and like some other just vintage video game clones. Um, Pac-Man maybe. Yeah, Pac-Man would be a cool one to make. Also, I've only ever made things in this that are basically monochrome, you know, black and white. But proved with the snake that Callian made, you can actually make it like pretty colorful without any bad performance issues. Also, adding arrays will make things really, really easy to implement. Like you'll be able to have any number of a list of items, so you don't need to have a variable for every object that exists or every pixel or something, which means you'll even be able to render images or sprites or anything like that easily, or easily enough, especially because and after arrays, we can make strings. Well, an array is a string, right? Oh, okay, Callian. I'll tell you how the colors work right now. Um, it's a little bit confusing, but it'll make sense after I tell you. Okay, so there's notepad. Um So it's 15 bits. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that makes up the entire color data. Okay, and red is 5 bits, green is 5 bits, and blue is 5 bits. Meaning each one looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so red is that. Green is that. Blue is that. So altogether, they actually make up one number, but they're actually sort of their own numbers. And each one has the range between 0 and 32. So 32 here, 32 there, and 32 there. So in order to get a color that you want, color palette, okay, color picker. Okay, so let's see, what color do we want? We got like this blue here. Okay, so for RGB is out of 255, right? Yeah, okay. What we want to do is convert this 8-bit color into a 5-bit color. So, how would we do that? Well, you can do 32 over 255 and then times 32. So that would be 4. Then we have 222. So that's 27. And then we have 167. So that's 20. Alright, so now we have RGB in 5-bit color instead of in 256-bit color. I mean, not 256-bit, 8-bit. So it converts from this to that. Right here to there. Now we just have to convert these back into binary. So we do 4 to binary. So that's 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. And then we do 27 to binary. So that's 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And then we do 20 to binary. So that's 101, 0, 0. So altogether, the number is actually just all of these side by side. So it looks like that. And then we can ask Google to just convert this to decimal. So you do 0b to say that it's in binary. And then paste that, and then do 2 decimal. And so the number would end up being 4,980. Now, it might look a little bit confusing, and that's probably just because of all of the steps, because it does take quite a few steps. But I think there is probably a converter online for 8-bit to 5-bit color, right? Ah, there's gotta be. Whatever. But it is easy enough to sort of pick your own colors. Also, in Armstrong, you can do that. For example, the color of... well, whatever. So, let's say you have a variable, $x, and we want it to equal the color that we just created. You can just write it in its binary form by doing 0b and that, I think. I haven't tested it very much because I don't like writing anything in binary because I find it confusing. But I guess writing things as giant 5-digit numbers is also confusing. But whatever. I think that should work because I did implement it into the compiler. But I just never really tested it out. Wonder is there. Typing. Times. $65. Alright, so 65 is the location of that one. I think I might be able to use that instead of actually drawing pixels to the screen for the net. Computer go burr. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. That's what it does. So, microchips, are you gonna start making that operating system soon? That might be a fun project for you to do, and not at all in any way something for me to get more views on my YouTube channel. Right. Yeah, that's nothing, you know, for major projects, no. You can probably fit in at least 6 or 7 more. That jumps to a register sign. Yes, that's in the dev version. You want to see it? I think it's what you want, right? There's... If I go to the dev version... There's a new instruction that I implemented called JREG. It just jumps to the address that's stored in register A. So that's good enough, right? That's what you want, right? I also totally revamped the other jump instructions, but honestly, outside of the outside of using actual assembly, you know, the low-level stuff, nobody will ever interact with it. Also, this dev version is going to release, like, right after I finish Pong, because the only thing that's holding it back is just the fact that Pong got broken for some reason. Also, I don't know if you've heard, but I am going to be changing the resolution to 480p. Not soon, probably sometime next month, but it is going to have like a better resolution and everything, and I'll also probably add a second expansion port, just for more peripherals. Yes, God's intended resolution. It's the best one. Like, get out of here with all that 4K 1080p stuff. That's not good. High definition, more like not definition. Aha. I don't think my computer can handle much more than 480p though. I'd be surprised if it could handle, I don't know, 720p. That would be incredible. Yeah, sure. That's what the A stands for. He he could foretell my coming. He knew I would someday take his place. I won't. I will not. Don't think I will. Verilog. I don't want to run it on an FPGA. Not yet. I might run it on an FPGA someday. But first, I want to build something that looks like an Altair, okay? Probably like double the size, though. Looks are everything, okay? Remember that. It's very important. Can't market a tiny little FPGA. No one's gonna click on a video like that. The Astro 8800, yeah, sure. Alright, that's what the net looks like. And it's like 5 times more efficient because it's not using bitmap mode anymore. Who needs bitmap mode anyway? I should just change it all the way to just 100% character mode. Like the pet, you know? Just use character mode for all the games and everything. Also, you still can't press more than 2 buttons at once, which is, I guess, something bad, as they say. But it's a tech demo, so who cares? C-like language and compiler for writing the OS with? I mean, maybe. Are you saying Armstrong is not good enough? All of my hard work put into this lovely, lovely language right here that doesn't even have correct syntax highlighting, but it still is great, is not good enough for you? Also, that has no optimization at all. There are no braces. Okay, yeah, but it's not like it looks like Python. It does sort of look like Python, but that's just more complication that I don't need to put into it. Braces and semicolons. Yeah, but you don't need them. Lua? Yeah, I guess I just can't help, but every time I make a language, I instinctively make it look like Lua, as everyone says. This is the second time. Whatever. It's fine, though. It's fine. So this is going to be the third language built for the Astro-8, though. I think someone else is making another language at the same time. Oh, oops. Yeah, you can't exactly just leave that blank. The first? Are you gonna make more than one? That would be... Okay. Sure, you can try doing that. Why did I boot up to that? I want typing. By the way, what is your operating system gonna do? I mean, like, simple operations, maybe, and, you know, maybe even running programs, and reading and writing to, storage. If that's in, like, the expansion port, I guess you can add a storage controller. But, I don't know, what would your language do at this point? I mean, your operating system do at this point? You probably do. I mean, multiprocessing? You could do multiprocessing, but do you have any idea how slow that would be? Like, it's a 16-bit computer. I have seen, like, 16-bit computers that have done that, but, like, just why? You know? Why? I guess, try your best. I wish you luck, but I don't know. So you can, yeah, I guess that's the reason. No, uh, okay, well, you see, that would make sense, and I wouldn't have any objections to it, but you have no idea the amount of backlash I got from my last video, just from the name. I get at least 5 comments a day just regarding that. It's like controversial, and I still don't even really know why. Like, I know the reasoning, I guess, or the topic around it, but I don't know. It still doesn't really make sense to me, and why my video would be, like, I guess, so targeted about that. But any other letter, I guess. Yeah, apparently. It's kind of ridiculous, and I don't really like it, but I really can't argue with 10,000 people all at once, so I just have to just ignore it and not use letter again, I guess. Change this a bit. What? $18. C. But like C. But not. Uh, hmm. I feel like that would get confusing very quickly. 36. It's the idea to make it more confusing. I don't think that would be good. Also, I assume that there's actually already a language called that. The only reason I chose Z Sharp was because I don't think there's another language that's called that. Or at least, there wasn't at the time that I made that video. Okay, let me check real quick. I don't know, there's a lot of things called C. Wikipedia is the most reliable source. I will never doubt you again. I believe you, 100%. C, it's C, just written differently. The C programming language is a variant of the C language with Python-like syntax. Okay, we're not going to do Python syntax again, though. Okay, we're going to go with C syntax. Okay, well, the reason why it most likely does that is because some people are stupid. So they spell C like C. Instead of C, they write it C. C. Yes, braces and semicolons. That is good programming. Alright, I think the score should display now, but it wouldn't change. Okay, well that's an X. A little bit different from a 0. Not gonna lie. So it needs to do +1, 2, 3. 39. Now let's try that. Alright, now we have zeros. Score, right score. Restart. Yeah, that's how you spell that. Skirt. Not very good at spelling today. Score 1. Put it into right score. That's very incorrect. The rest of the evening? Well, I don't think I'm going to be streaming for that long. Oh wow, I've been streaming for a bit more than 3 hours now. That's quite a long time. Yeah, I might stop streaming, like, within the hour. Not sure why this stopped working. It's a bit odd. I think it might have something to do with that. Which doesn't make too much sense. Yep, it was something to do with that. Why? Who knows? But it is. Don't call it C. I swear to God, if you call the language C, that will be really annoying. I will not feature you in the next video if you call it C or something of that nature, because that will be very dumb. No, 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 revert it. Change it back. When's the next video? Do you think I know that? I have no idea when the next video is going to be. You see, the most I know is that it's going to be sometime within the next 6 months. Microchips. I will ban you from the Discord server if you call it that. Yeah, you have quite a bit of time. Also, do you really think I'm going to be able to build the entire thing within 6 months? I will not be able to do that, no. The next video will probably not be related to the computer. It will probably be a different sort of video. Why does that stop working? It's a bit odd. Especially because the score should never be above 9 to begin with. Staline? What's that? Staline 2.0. No idea. And it still's broken. That stills lots of confidence in me. Why would the stream be frozen? Can you guys... You can hear me, right? Like it's working? My upload speed is perfectly fine. So I don't know if it's different on your system or something. I don't know. I think calling your emulator just C# Astro-8 would, like, be correct, though, right? Because that's basically what it is. You don't really do anything other than that. Try just refreshing your page. That would probably fix it. Let's score. Let's see that. That is so odd. Oh no, there seems to be some pixel writing at the top there. I'm not sure what that is. And I'm also not sure why it's not working. I think I need to move some of these variables outside of the start area. Like constants and things that don't really need to be reset. Those do. Those don't. That doesn't. That doesn't. Be together. Those do. None of those do. Those. And one of those. Alright, that should fix everything. If it doesn't, that's another confusing bug I have to fix. There we go, it works! I mean, sort of. The paddles probably can go a bit lower. Other potential names, combinations of C, Astro, needless to say that... Oh, God. No. 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 Can you... No. So you could call it any other normal name, right? Anything else. That's not good. Yeah, I think it means bad things, like, everywhere, right? What? I can make that 10 and that one 10. I'll allow the paddle to go beneath the floor. Just a little bit, though. There. Now you can actually get the ball in weird situations. Alright, now let's let the score reset and it reaches 10. And boom, reset. There we go. That's good. See if we can reset the paddles too, because that would actually be probably pretty useful. Might make it look a bit better. Why are you talking about ice cream? Oh no. The paddles, well, the graphics glitched out at least. Well, I know what I can do. I can just change the last R char and L char positions. Just L. Oh, L, that would be R. Oops. Dead paddles. Yeah, dead paddles. Alright, that should fix it. Almost there. Okay. And boom. There we go. Now the paddles reset to the center screen. And that would be Pong done, I guess. I was able to do it in, I think a smaller space, right? 231 lines. And then this one is 280. Although that's counting in this part that I didn't actually add in. I got it done in about the same amount of lines. Well, I guess that's good enough. It's not optimized very much, but how much can you really optimize Pong? Also, I should probably speed up and slow down a few things, get the speeds right. The ball goes a bit slow. I mean, a bit slower than before, but I think it's a good speed, right? Do you think that's a good speed for the ball? And the paddles are a bit fast. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just used to playing it so much. But these paddles feel good, I guess. Maybe a bit slower. Like 1,500? 15,000, I mean. Okay, well now it's not moving because it's in the dead range that doesn't seem to work for some reason. 14,000. Yeah, it's a little bit inaccurate when you're trying to be precise, especially because you can only move it within the range. Use serial ports on the real computer to connect two joysticks with the potentiometer and use the resistance reading to use two potentiometers as two controllers. Yes, that is another... so the expansion port is 16-bit, so you can use, each one of those bits as a serial, a serial data bus if you want. The program just has to be built for it, because other than that, the system is fully compatible. So you can have like any number of attachments. Also, I don't really want to build hardware for controllers. I mean, I guess potentiometers, that's pretty realistic. Like that's what they used for like the original Pong game and stuff. Um, but I don't know. I think I can use something else. I don't know. I was planning to just make a USB port because I can just add on like 2, maybe 3 USB ports, and then plug in like a keyboard or 2. Unfortunately, hardware is kind of a long ways off because, um, well, I have to do a lot of research prior to actually building it. Oh, yeah, a problem with the potentiometer, actually. That would require its own hardware. Like, it would need a decoder to convert the analog signal into a digital one. I mean, that would, be easy. Like, that would obviously just be something to plug into the expansion port. But it would require its own circuitry to do that. Alright, what should I work on now? Pong is done, so I can commit this, I guess, to the dev branch. Digital audio, digital analog converter? Yeah, well, true. Yeah, but it would still require, like, its own circuit. Which, again, that's not a problem. It's just that, yeah. Um, Honestly, that's probably only about as complicated. No, that's less complicated than plugging in a keyboard, because the keyboard needs to be decoded, and I don't even know how a current USB keyboard, or I think I might use a PS2 keyboard because I do have one of those, but I'm not sure about like what exactly bytes are used for each key. I know that there was like a standard using positioning instead of like actual ASCII letters or anything. But then I also have to convert that serial signal into, I have to collect that serial signal and convert it into an actual single byte. And then I have to convert that into my own character set, which is totally different from like ASCII and stuff. Like it even needs to be converted in the emulator. I have an entire table where I just convert from uh, ASCII, because that's what SDL uses for key presses, into my own character set, which is called SD ski. It's Sam's dumb something I. Wait, what does ASCII stand for? ASCII, ASCII, ASCII. Uh, okay, so it stands for Sam's dumb code for information interchange. That's what SD ski stands for. It's kind of a lot more difficult to say than ASCII, but SD ski. That's what I have to convert it into in circuitry. Let's get back to this. Oh, I need to rename. Branch up. There we go. Hmm. Moonish? Um, Va Vaughan. Who's that? Sorry, I'm not super up to date with like history. Oh, her. Wasn't there a movie made about her? Right? I don't know, I might be wrong. But I think I've heard of her. Yeah, that would be a good name, I think. Just don't call it, your previous names. You're not very good. Recently? Where? At NASA. Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking about like a normal building, but wow, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pong. Uh, what? Pong dot Armstrong. Oh yeah, because I renamed it. Ooh, I thought I just deleted that. Computing centers? Hmm. Alright, what should I work on now? I think I could maybe start working on, like, arrays, maybe? I'm not sure how I should do that. I don't think it would be that difficult because they will be fixed sized. Just, like, basically groups of variables that are accessed by an array. But maybe I should first pull this. Oh wow, imagine floating point numbers. Um, assigned integers is beyond just impractical. Possible. Easy EDA. Which one's this? What's that? Ah, that. Yeah. What did you lose though? You didn't like lose any important progress, did you? Wait, I am bad at this. All right. Okay, so someone has been working on documentation for the processor, or at least like sorting it, and I don't know. I don't really know what to think about it. Like, I don't know, there's all these buttons, and they'll bring you to different parts of the documentation, but then, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the way that you have to navigate it, because then you have to navigate it like it's a folder structure, like this, and I don't know, I think it would just be easier if it was in the wiki style. And I don't have a ton of different, like, different docs and a lot of information. So it's not like it would get super messy. At least I don't think. I'm not sure. Like, this would look very good, but I just don't know if it would look great with, um, without the wiki surrounding it. Yeah, because there's all the pages right here, and then you can just navigate them like, you know, they are pages. And then in the actual wiki, you can scroll through it and you can click on links, which will just bring you to other pages. But then if I go to this person's pull request, and then the preview, like, you have to click on these buttons, or you can go to the documentation, but then you have to navigate it like you're navigating folders on, you know, File Explorer. And I just don't like doing that. And then you have to either click one of these buttons up here, or you can click the back button. I don't know, I think it might be easier to find things, but it's just not very great looking. And I like all the work that they did, I just don't really like the form factor. I mean, all of this is formatted pretty well. I don't know, I sort of like it like this, but maybe it's a bit too dense and, like, complicated, I guess. Well, whatever. I think I'm gonna leave the stream off here. I got all the work done that I wanted to, because I got Pong totally remade from scratch. And I think in the next stream what I'll do is I'll implement the arrays in Armstrong, because that'll allow people to work on a lot more things, and like maybe displaying images and I don't know, apples like in Snake. Yeah. All right, well, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.